Across the alley was the Paradise Dance Hall. Evenings in the spring, they'd open up all the windows and doors and the music would come outside. Sometimes they'd turn out all the lights except for a large glass sphere that hung from the ceiling. It would turn slowly and filter the dusk with delicate rainbow colors. And then the orchestra would play a tango or a waltz, something with a slow and sensuous rhythm. The couples would escape to the relative privacy of the alley. You could see them kissing behind the ash pits and telephone poles. This was compensation for a life that passed like mine, without change or adventure. Change and adventure, however, were imminent this year, waiting around the corner for all these unsuspecting kids. Suspended in the mist over Burkus Garden, caught in the folds of Chamberlain's umbrella. In Spain, there was Guernica, but here, there's only hot swing music and liquor, dance halls, bars, and movies, and sex that hung in the gloom and flooded the world with brief, deceptive rainbows. While all these unsuspecting kids danced to "Dear One, the World is Waiting for the Sunrise," all the world was really waiting for was bombardments.
Tom, where are you?
Came outside to smoke.
You smoke too much. A pack a day at 15 cents a pack. How much would that be in a month? 15 times 30. Well, it wouldn't be that much. Well, it would be enough to go towards a night school course in accounting at Washington U. Wouldn't that be lovely?
I'd rather smoke.
I know, and that's the tragedy of you. Oh, this fire escape landing is a poor excuse for the porch we used to have. What are you looking at?
The moon.
Is there a moon this evening?
It's rising right over Garfinkel's delicatessen.
Oh, so there is. Such a little silver slipper of a moon. Did you make a wish on it?
Mm-hmm.
What did you wish for?
That's a secret.
All right, I won't tell you what I wish for either. I can keep a secret too. I can be just as mysterious as you.
Oh, I can bet I guess what you wished for.
Why, is my head transparent?
You're not a sphinx.
No, I don't keep secrets. I'll tell you what I wished for on that moon. Success and happiness for my precious children. I wish for that whenever there's a moon, and when there's not one, I wish for it then too.
Really? I figured you would have wished for a gentleman caller.
What makes you say that?
Don't you remember? You asked me to fetch one.
I remember suggesting that it might be nice for Sister if you were to bring home some nice young man from the warehouse. I believe I've made that suggestion more than once.
Oh, you made it repeatedly.
Well,
we're going to have one.
what?
A gentleman caller.
You mean you've asked some nice young man to come over?
I asked him to dinner.
You really did?
I did.
And did he accept?
He did.
He did?
He did.
Oh, how lovely.
I thought you'd be pleased.
So it's definite then?
Oh, very, very definite.
How soon?
Pretty soon.
How soon?
Quite soon.
How soon?
Very, very soon.
Every time I want to know anything, you always start going on like that.
Well, what do you want to know?
Go ahead and guess. Go ahead and guess.
I'll guess that you want to know when our gentleman caller's coming over. Well, he's coming over tomorrow night.
Tomorrow? Oh, no. I can't do anything about tomorrow. I can't do anything about tomorrow.
Why not?
That doesn't give me enough time.
Time for what?
Time for preparations. Oh, you should have phoned me the minute you asked him, the minute he accepted.
Mother, you don't have to make a fuss.
Of course I have to make a fuss. I can't have a man coming into a place that's all sloppy. It's got to be thrown together properly. I'm certainly going to have to do some fast thinking before tomorrow night.
I don't see why you have to think at all.
That's because you don't know. You just don't know. We can't have a gentleman caller coming in to a pigsty. Now, let's see. I've got 3 pieces of wedding silver left. I'll polish that up. I wonder how that old lace tablecloth is doing after all of these years. We can't wear anything We haven't got it. I mean, we haven't got anything to wear. We haven't got it.
Mother, this boy is no one to make a fuss over.
I don't know how you can say that when this is the first gentleman caller your little sister's ever had. Oh, I think it's pathetic that child's never had a gentleman caller before. Come on inside. Come on inside.
What for?
I want to ask you some things.
Listen, if you're going to make a fuss, then I'll just call him up and tell him not to come over.
Oh, no, you must never do that. People hate broken engagements. They've no place to go. Come on inside. Come on inside. Would you come inside when I ask you to? Come on inside. Would you come on inside? Sit down.
Any place in particular you want me to sit?
Oh, sit anywhere. Look. Have you ever seen anything looking so sad? What am I going to do about this? I know. I'll get a bright piece of cretonne. That won't cost much. And I've made payments on a floor lamp. So I'll have that set out. And I can get a bright cover for the chair. I wish I had time to wallpaper the walls. What's his name?
His name is O'Connor.
O'Connor, he's Irish. And tomorrow's Friday, that means fish. Well, that's okay. I'll make a salmon loaf with a mayonnaise dressing for it. Where'd you meet him?
Met him at the warehouse. Where else would I meet him?
I don't know. Does he drink?
What made you ask me that?
Because your father did.
Oh, don't get started on that now.
He drinks then.
No, not that I know of.
Well, you have to find out. There's nothing I want less for my daughter than a man who drinks.
Mother, aren't you being a little premature? I mean, after all, Mr. O'Connor hasn't even appeared on the scene yet.
But he will. Tomorrow. And what do I know about his character?
Now what are you up to?
I always did hate that cowlick. I never could understand why it wouldn't lay down by itself.
Mother, I want to tell you something. I mean it sincerely, right straight from the heart. There are a lot of boys who meet girls which they don't marry.
You know what always had me worried about you? You never could stick to the subject. I want to know about this young man. What's his position at the warehouse?
He's a shipping clerk.
Oh, a shipping clerk, that's fairly important. That's where you'd be if you had more get up. How much does he earn?
I have no way of knowing that for sure. I guess his salary to be about $85 a month approximately.
$85. Well, that's not princely.
That's $20 more than I make.
I know that. How well I know that. Oh, how well I know that. No. $85 a month. It can't be done. A family man could never get by on $85 a month.
Mother, Mr. O'Connor is not a family man.
Well, he might be at some time in the future, mightn't he?
Oh, I see. Plans and provisions.
You are the only young man I know of who ignores the fact that the future becomes the present becomes the past, and the past turns into everlasting regret if you don't plan for it.
I'm going to have to think that one over, see what I can make of it.
Don't be supercilious with your mother. Tell me more about this Mr. O'Connor. Mr. O'Connor. He must have another name besides...
Yes, his full name is James D. O'Connor. The D is for Delaney.
Delaney? Irish on both sides and he doesn't drink?
Would you like me to call him up and ask him?
No.
No. I'll call him up and say, you want to know if he drinks.
No, you have to be discreet about these matters. When I was a young girl in Blue Mountain, if any young man was suspected of drinking and a young girl was receiving his attentions, if any young girl was receiving his attentions, then she would go to the minister of his church and ask about his character. Or her father. If her father was living, then it was his duty to go to the minister of his church and ask about his character. And that is how young girls in Blue Mountain were kept from making tragic mistakes.
Well then, how come you made such a tragic one?
I don't know how he did it, but that face just fooled everybody. All he had to do was smile and the world was bewitched. And I can't think of anything more tragic than a young girl just throwing herself at the mercy of a handsome appearance. I do hope Mr. O'Connor's not too good looking.
Well, he's not. He has a face full of freckles and a very large nose.
He's not downright homely, is he?
I wouldn't say downright homely. Medium homely, I'd say.
Well, if a girl has any sense, she'd look for character in a man anyhow.
That's what I've always said, Mother.
You've always said it. You've always said it. How could you've always said it when you've never even thought it before?
Nah, don't get suspicious of me now, Mother.
Oh, I am. I am suspicious of every word that comes out of your mouth. But I want to know about this young man. Is he up and coming?
Yes, I think he goes in for the self-improvement.
What makes you think it?
Well, he goes to night school.
And what does he do at night school?
Studies radio engineering and public speaking.
Oh, public speaking. Well, that shows he intends to be an executive someday. And radio engineering. Well, that's coming, huh?
I think it's here.
Well, these are very illuminating facts. Facts any mother would want to know about any young man calling on her daughter. Seriously or not.
Now, just one thing, Mother. I didn't tell him anything about Laura. I didn't go on that we had dark, ulterior motives. I just said, hey, how about coming over for dinner sometime? And he said, fine. And that was the whole conversation.
I bet it was, too. You know, sometimes you can be as eloquent as an oyster. However, when he sees how sweet and pretty that child is, he's going to be very glad he was invited to dinner.
You won't expect too much out of Laura, will you?
I don't know what you mean.
Well, I mean, Laura's all those things to you and I because, well, she's ours and we love her. We don't even notice anymore that she's crippled.
Don't use that word.
Well, you have to face facts. She is, and that's not all.
I don't know what you mean. That's not all.
Mother, Laura's different from other girls.
Yes, I know that. And I think that difference is all in her favor.
Not quite all in her favor. To others, strangers, Laura's terribly shy. And she lives in a world all of her own. And to people outside the house, that makes her seem a bit peculiar.
Don't use that word, peculiar.
You have to face facts. She is.
I don't know in what way she's peculiar.
Mother, Laura lives in a world of imaginary animals. And she plays old phonograph records. And that's about all.
Laura! Laura! Let go of those dishes and come out front. Laura, come out here and look at the moon. Moon? Moon? A little silver slipper of a moon right over Garfinkel's delicatessen. Look over your left shoulder. Now, darling, make a wish.
What should I wish for, Mother?
Happiness. And just a little bit of good fortune.